Assalamu alaikum. So I'm hoping by like a show of takbir, you can tell us how you've been enjoying the academic conference so far. Takbir. MashaAllah. This side seems to be enjoying it more than this side. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. How you doing? You good? MashaAllah. Takbir. MashaAllah. Welcome back. Alhamdulillah. So we may have referred throughout the day to different products. When we say product, basically Yaqeen is adopted just a few months ago in 2021, this idea of having specific product owners. So last night you saw Dr. Yusuf Salam present as Confident Muslim, as a recipient of the Confident Muslim Award. That was a product owned by a product owner under Confident Muslim. Today we're focusing on a specific product called Conviction Circles that falls under the Expanded Learning Department. So this is serious business. These are the best of the best in every department, focusing on what you need and how we can manage to get it done. We're gonna
How do you go from this to this?
You can skip it?
You're not going to use
Okay.
the question, basically.
Say skip it.
By learning to
Okay, for the sake of time, we'll skip the video, but all videos are on, as Sheikh Suleiman said, everything is on the website, so inshallah go there and you'll benefit from it. So conviction circles, right? In Arabic, circle is halaqa. So that's all we're saying, is that we're saying to establish conviction among a group of people who want to come together and study together. That's what happens. And by the way, this is not the first time circle was used in American history, in Muslim American history. Anybody else remember when circle was used in a name instead of halaqa? Any idea? You ever wonder why it was called the Islamic Circle of North America? I'm not kidding. It was literally the Urdu-speaking halaqa of students in America who came in the 60s. And they said, you know what, we're already in a circle. So ICNA. All right, so why should I start a circle? Among many things, the amazing idea of curriculum and structured learning is something we have in all of our parts of our lives. Except when it comes to Islam, everyone's like, do this, do that, try this, try that. So why not structure it? So you might look around and say, you know what, I don't know if we have the resources to do it. How are we going to manage to do it? So one of the reasons to start, or one of the reasons to start it, is to look and say, you know what, could we actually have specific topics that our circle could address over time with specific questions to create a discussion. So not top-down learning, but almost like a collaborative format of learning, right? So that's number one. Of course, on the other hand, we are not a product, we are not existing in a vacuum. We are impacted by our environment to a great degree. And so what this product particularly does is this notion of confronting our own beliefs. Many times we've been making up answers to what Islam actually says. Growing up, I'm sure, how many of you, by show of hands, were told not to leave the sajada, the musalla, the janimaz open after you finish praying, for example, because why? What would happen if you left it open after finishing praying? What was that? And no one questioned the fact that the whole point was to get him to pray. Am I right? Right? I'm just saying, all right? So don't call mom and dad and go, man, you messed me up. Don't do that. So in addition to that, we're also, sorry, I keep pointing there, but in addition to that, we also want to say that we've made it, structured it in the best way possible so that you can literally take, for example, did you move one? Sorry. Oh, you did? Okay. So, what? Okay, sorry. So the notion is that you don't have to do it alone. The idea is that it is scary. It should be scary that we just speak about Islam and sort of come out, from our whims. On the other hand, if you look and say where there's some scholars who have reviewed this product and then come up with basic concrete elements of how to study. Universities get accredited based on the curriculum. So it just makes sense that any halaqah would have the best resources available to be able to literally start and have a discussion and do it that's the way that it's relevant to the people around you. So from there, we came to the point of saying, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we create discussion kits? then you, as the trainer, the halakha leader, the circle leader, whatever you want to call each other, that's the person who would take this and get the training. And again, we have the team to allow the training to occur, so we're not going to leave you out there alone. And then on top of that, you get this idea of a spiritual personality. How many of you, by show of hands, have actually taken the spiritual personality quiz from Yaqeen Institute? Anybody? A few of you? MashaAllah. All right. So now you know that it's there, it's free, it's available. It's just our way of doing our best to say, based on what we know, how best can we approximate? Where do each one of us lie in terms of our spiritual personality? It's not a hard and fast science. It's not meant to, to elevate some and up, and sort of denigrate anyone. It's just basically where do you land on the answers to these surveys. You've taken other personality instruments, right? What's the most famous one that you might have done? Myers-Briggs, right? For example. So that's just an example of how that would work out. Then, just to show you the different discussion kits and the topics that are there, by the way, a lot of this content is coming from thoroughly prepared papers that are well-sourced, authentic in content and so forth. So you will take each of these kits. In the room right now, are there folks who have actually started conviction circles? Anyone who's in the audience? MashaAllah. Perfect. Everyone should be doing this after we leave, inshallah, because it's free. It's ready and it's proven. And we have the testimony of folks, inshallah, alhamdulillah, who have tried this out, not only in America, in different continents of the world, because again, it's online, it's available, and it's free. So those are the different, I won't go through for the sake of time. So the idea of doing this in this structured way and to make it free is that there should be nobody, literally nobody, within the reach of an internet connection and the ability to gather 3, 5, whatever you want to call a circle, and then say what? Make a commitment. Say, you know what? We're going to go down this path of literally creating this circle, meeting however many times you want to meet per month, per week, per whatever, and then try to go about getting that learning done. As I mentioned when we began the conference this morning, your feedback is critically important to us. That evaluation, and believe we just ended the semester, the fall semester at Howard where I am. And so I have, from my department as chair, I have faculty evaluations to look through, to let them know, hey man, your PowerPoints aren't working out. Right? You think they're all that great, but people are just not taking to them, so figure it out. Change the PowerPoints, change the amount of videos you're using in class. Basically, the videos are doing the teaching. You aren't teaching. Why would anybody come to class if that's the case? So your feedback will be critical. It could be on the entire product as conviction circles. It could be discussion kit by discussion kit. It could be within a topic, a subtopic area where you come across, you're like, you know what? It was really great. And then at this point, when we talk about why does Allah allow evil to exist, things got a little bit confusing or convoluted. And we were hoping that you could add this question. So, yes, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Online interactive? I don't think between Yaqeen's staff and.
There's trainings online how to deal with it, but no online interactive sessions in particular. This is for you to take on.
So we were trying our best to create local communities and maybe several communities in major metropolitan areas. So that's how this would go down, that they would download it, you would download it, and then begin the circle on your own. Before you downloaded it, before you began, you could get the training, and then you would be on your own in that sense. But then we could help you if you came up with questions that are in the process of implementing the circle. Does that help? Are you giving feedback that we should create online interactive? Okay. All right. Any other questions on that just before we conclude on this part? Everybody good so far? Sound like something you would do? Should we take like a verbal commitment on camera? How many conviction circles we start? Okay. So just to close this out, basically remember that the principles of Islam do not change. The exploration and the journey may push you into areas to ask questions. That can be encouraged. And that can be allowed within a structured framework, no like free-for-all. So these discussion kits actually help us to do that. And we're hoping, as you can see here, that not only will you connect with Allah individually, but our goal is to connect you with others in the faith. And inshallah, through that, we'll be building small communities around that focus on dismantling doubt, nurturing conviction, and inspiring contribution. So with that, inshallah, we will conclude that presentation. And again, thank you so much for attending, and thank you to Sheikh Suleiman Hani for his presentation.